and for emphasis, I represent the oil-producing Senatorial Zone of Imo State. Mr. President, when I listened to the chairman and managing director designate, I was pleased with one comment that was consistent in their mouth. That is, that they are from the oil-producing area of their respective states. And that is what the Act says. To that extent, I'm pleased with that nomination. Mr. President, sitting as chair, there are some of the nominees here who are not from the oil-producing areas of their state. So that puts a question mark to their nomination. In the 8th Senate, I was nominated as a member of Nddc. Because of the integrity of the Senate as an institution, because I know that if I come here, I will take a bow and go, I declined the offer based on the fact that I'm not from the oil-producing area of my federal constituency and my senatorial zone. And the Senate of the 8th National Assembly acknowledged that and wrote me a letter of commendation and said that this is how a senator should behave. To that extent, anybody who is not from the oil-producing area should not even appear before the Senate for confirmation. Mr. President, having said that, I would like to draw our attention to Section 12, Sub 1 of the Act starting up the Nddc. And with your kind permission, Mr. President, sitting as chair, I would like to read. There shall be a commission, a managing director, and 2 executive directors. 3 executive directors, but this is Act. 3 executive directors, who shall be indigenous of the oil-producing areas, starting with the member states of the commission, with the highest production quantum of oil, and shall rotate amongst member states in order of production. This is the emphasis. And shall rotate among member states in order of quantum of oil production. Mr. President, you will recall that the 9th Senate did not approve the first submission President Buhari sent to them because it was not in line with the Act. So President Buhari had to withdraw it, send another one in line with the Act. That was why the current managing director was appointed for a term of 2 years to complete the term of Bayelsa State. Mr. President, sitting as chair, having said this, that particular board went ahead and nominated somebody from Edo State as the Executive Director of Finance and Administration. Went ahead again, nominated Ondo State as the Executive Director Project, because those states have not benefited. The 4 other states have been benefiting from these 3 positions for the past 20 years, and that is at variance with the Act setting up the Nddc. Because if you look at Section 4, Sub 1 of the Nddc, he said the chairman shall rotate in alphabetical order, and that has been followed since that time to today. That is why the chairman now is coming from Delta. That is consistent with the law. But the position of managing director and the executive directors have not been consistent with the Act setting it up. So, Mr. President, having said this, I will plead that the Senate will confirm, because they have appeared before us and have been nominated by Mr. President, which he has the right to nominate them. But I also plead that we defer their confirmation to another legislative day to enable us to look at some of these gray areas and see to what extent they can be amended, so that we don't conclude an exercise and people will come and start puncturing what we have done, that we have not done the right thing. Mr. President, why I'm saying this is because the EDFA, as of today, cannot be from the state where it has been given to. It has to go to either Edo State or Ondo State. So that Imo State, where I come from, will also be the Executive Director, Corporate Services, because that is where we are. Ondo cannot jump Edo State, because Edo State have more oil in terms of oil quantum more than Ondo State. But in these particular nominations, Ondo have jumped Edo State. Mr. President, that is not consistent, and that is not the intent of the act, setting up the Nddc. So, in conclusion, I will plead my colleagues, Mr. President, sitting as chair, the Senate leader, that we confirm them. I mean, that we screen them and defer the confirmation to another legislative day, so that all these issues can be brought to fore, Mr. President. I so submit.